In a recent video, I listened to Maidcore for the first time based on recommendations that I got from the Maidcore subreddit. You all were very supportive, and I really appreciate everybody coming together and all of the supportive words for me checking out a genre of music and an aesthetic movement that I was never privy to, that I'd never heard of. In the comments, I got lots of people saying that there's more to the genre, which, of course, I knew there was no way I was going to get to it all in one video, but one name that came up a couple of times over was Ozoi the Maid, as somebody that I may have missed that I should listen to. So I do like to check the comments sometimes and see what people are saying about what I should be introduced to. So today we're going to check out Ozoi. By the way, if you have any recommendations for genres or performances or anything like that that you think might be surprising, might be something different, something that I've never heard of, feel free to drop those in the comments. Like I say, I cannot promise to get to all or even most of them, but I do read them, and when I see something that I think might work, I'm usually happy to go ahead and turn it into a video. I'm kind of just getting started with this music channel. I should have only 5 or 6 videos up now, so I'm definitely looking to shape the channel with more and more experiences. So let's get started with Ozoi the Maid. We are going to start, let's start with this one called Unfortune. Let's see what it's all about. I don't really know what type of musician Ozoi is, so we'll just, we'll see what we get. Okay, let's see. So this was 2 years ago. So I want to kind of keep an eye on when these were released and see kind of if there's a movement of anything in terms of recording and production and all that. This one sounds like sampled drums, which nothing wrong there. I'm just making notes. I note it's very heavy in what seems like reverb on multiple parts, and some of the frequencies kind of fighting for each other in the low spectrum there a little bit. It sounds like we've got maybe a little reverb or at least saturation on the drums. We've got a little fuzziness going on with the bass, at least 2 guitars with a little bit of what sounds like reverb on them. But so far, this is in the style of a lot of what I've heard of Maidcore already. We're going to back up because it sounds like some piano comes in here, and I want to go ahead and catch that build. Okay, this might be the first one that I've heard with vocals. Sounded like Russian. I'm not sure. I thought I heard a Kagda in there somewhere. But whatever it was, it wasn't something that I could hear what was being said. Definitely seems to be some inspiration here from sort of like noise, post-rock, shoegaze sort of stuff. Like I said before, a lot of drowning in reverb and saturation. A pretty cool effect. The first that I've heard so far in this genre, I think, of any sort of vocal overlay like that. I like that drum pattern a lot. Interesting. So it's got an indie sound to it, and that's one thing that I've found interesting about different sorts of songs that I've listened to that are Maidcore is you can, a lot of the time, you can tell it's an indie movement, and that's not a positive or a negative judgment, but it is something that reflects in the recording quality of some of the songs that I've heard, and it lends it a certain kind of charm. You know, it lends it an identity as sort of an underground or homegrown sort of movement. As I understand, people sort of attach themselves to the maids and the whole like circle of community. So I'm not really going anywhere with that thought. It's just something that I notice. So let's see. This was 2021. Oh, so even though it was put up a couple years ago, this came out in 2021. I was looking to see if we had lyrics here, but it doesn't look like it. So let's see. This is August 2021. This released New Year's Eve 2022. This is Resilience. So I'm going to be listening to this in a way that I want to hear if there has been change in the way it's recorded and produced. I want to say this previous song here was very 3 a.m. cathartic noise when everybody else is asleep and you're left on your own and you have your thoughts and maybe you're going for a walk or like gaming, but you're just kind of on autopilot. I don't know. That's the vibes that I get from it. Let's check out Resilience here. Digging the groove so far. Much more upbeat, the synths. Let's see if that holds. actually took me a minute to notice the vocals that are sneaking in there. I like the guitar sounds here a lot. Couple really cool note choices there. Two big changes.
Я даже не хочу кричать, я навсегда похороню. Не нужно больше обещать, и нет пути одна тоска. И не найти, и не отдать. Я брошу все, и я спать, мне больше незачем дышать. Не уйти и не достать, я даже не хочу кричать. Я навсегда похороню, не нужно больше обещать.
See, I thought they were going to do another change there. I may be crazy, but I feel like with all of the changes going on, what has stayed the same is the drum beat, which is a very like club dance music type of beat. Even though the music has changed pretty radically around that, giving the drums a different feel by contrasting them, I feel like they've stayed pretty much the same. And then in this last segment up here, I think they stayed the same, except the snare pattern went away and it was replaced by all bass. So it was the same pattern, but just on the kick drum and not on the snare. Let me hear. Okay, so it was definitely slower in the beginning. One, two, one, two. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so there's a little more change up in the drums than I thought. Some subtleties, I think, on the hi-hat and maybe the velocity of the snare hit and things like that. But the drum pattern does stay fairly consistent. It's the rest of the music that chops up and jumps all over the place. So let's get back to about right here, and I'll try to stop chopping it up so much and let the momentum just kind of carry. I like that part. It was intense. That was pretty cool. So props to the artist for trying something new, and in particular trying several new things in one song. It's the kind of thing that it throws you off guard on first listen, but if I had to guess, once you're familiar with the song, the changes are probably pretty satisfying. I will say that production on this one was better than Unfortune. There was a lot less muddiness in the mix. In particular, the vocal quality, I feel, went way up from that one. All right, so this is Ozoi the Maid and a collaboration, I assume, with Unit. This is called Shingeki. We don't really have a detail on the release of this, but it came out December 31st, 2024 on YouTube. Seems like they like to release on New Year's Eve. Oh, I love the sound of this one right off the bat. Very interesting. It's got a sound that is definitely a throwback to me, to like 2000s era rock, alternative metal, and things like that. That dark sort of haunting sound, but with driving, power chords and all that. The vocals on this definitely cleaned up. The production is very high quality. The riffage and everything is pretty simple, but serves the song really well. It would be cool if the lyrics were in the description, because try as I might, I can read about 1 out of every 20 words, and I can't put any concepts together. And I would probably just go and right click to translate. But overall, I really like this one. This is maybe my favorite yet, although it is the most straightforward. I think it shows the least experimentation, but it also feels like it is home for the artists, maybe. Like it feels like they might have felt very comfortable making this. That was really solid. I want to see here if there are lyrics. I'm not seeing any for this song. Okay, our last one here, Ozoi the Maid and Row 47, Kain Y Abel, which I assume is Kain and Abel. Don't yell at me if I'm wrong, I'm trying.
Вещи дома проданы, внутренности органы, пустые головы, орут заученные слоганы. Лишь бы меня не тронули, и все, что мне так дорого. А начиналось просто так с оборванного провода. Следят глаза и камеры, решетки и развалины, надежды на распятие. Холодный край оставили, мы забирать не стали бы, если б все делал правильно. За братскую любовь спроси у Каина и Авеля. И боится, в чем дело, пацанов обводят белым. Я хочу за твою сумму срок, из чего ты сделал мера. Я не знаю меры, веры, я не знаю веры. Я зарою твое тело глубоко под литосферу. Зря тратишь свои нервы, не последний и не первый. Очередной резидент перемолотой системы. Говоришь, ты видел свет, что ты знаешь себе цену, но ты все равно заплатишь, новые придут на смену. Смерти смотрят кочерги, все, кто верит, дураки. Хочет милости искать, поставь обещаки. Жребий брошен у реки, поплывешь лучше беги. Или посмотри, как братья тонут, как щенки. Смерти смотрят кочерги, все, кто верит, дураки. Хочет милости искать, поставь обещаки. Жребий брошен у реки, поплывешь лучше беги. Или посмотри, как братья тонут, как щенки. Вытекает слюни, лица перекошены. Мой мир остался в прошлом, блядь, дико напиздошило. Меня дожди досушат, с улицы крики истошны. Повсюду люди зомби с расклеенными башками. Смотри себе под ноги, береги печень ноги. До тебя очередь дошла проверить кости шоки. Радуют демоны, имеют власть служители и боги. Такие, какие они, таким же, как они, жестоки. Писаны как барахло, лица морской брак. И если это жизнь, раду я в ней подкидываю дурак. Рад бы заново начать, но первобытный детский страх мешает выйти из сети, нажать под новый старт. Поводок и маска, держись да безопасно. Когда увидишь небес, все резко станет ясно. Не вытащит молитву связи, не поможет таска. Твоя бессмысленная жизнь проехала напрасно. Смерти смотрят кочерги, все, кто верит, дураки. Хочет милости искать, поставь обещаки. Жребий брошен у реки, поплывешь лучше беги. Или посмотри, как братья тонут, как щенки. Смерти смотрят кочерги, все, кто верит, дураки. Хочет милости искать, поставь обещаки. Жребий брошен у реки, поплывешь лучше беги. Или посмотри, как братья тонут, как щенки.
So this is the first one where I have seen a video that actually seems to feature the artist. Looks like we have a couple, looks like VTubers here. I'm assuming this one over here represents Ozoi, and this one is Row 47, just based on when they were introduced and everything, and you could hear the voices change up a little bit. Overall thoughts on the song were that it was... It's pretty straightforward, but it's got a good foundation, good solid sound. Probably the cleanest production, at least of the electronic elements that I have heard in the songs so far. Intense, rapid vocals, definitely something that I could hear, being played over a loud set of speakers at a club of some kind. I enjoyed it. This is probably of all of them less on the side of something that I would tend to listen to because I would normally listen to something more rock, post rock, something like that. So some of the others would be a little more my style, but this was pretty cool, and it's cool to see, a little more of the artist represented visually. It also took me a minute to notice if we look here. All the backgrounds, all the backgrounds are going backwards. And that's a really cool effect that I didn't realize until the video was almost done, is the cars are actually moving in reverse throughout the video. So yeah, that was Ozoi the Maid. Definitely thank you all for recommending this one to me. This was pretty cool. It's always cool to see how a different artist approaches this sort of thing, especially in a genre like this that seems to have a lot of room for individual expression and experimentation and things like that. So, Ozoi, thank you for the music and making it available. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Like I said, if you have artists, if you have performances, anything like that that you think I should listen to that might be something fun and unexpected, I love to listen to something new and something that I wouldn't have expected and really capture my first reaction to it. So feel free to drop those in the comments and let me know what you thought of Ozoi the Maid. Did I pick a good song selection? Did you like the artist? Were you introduced to a new artist? Let me know all of those things. Consider subscribing if you want to hear. I've got more reactions incoming. I've got album retrospectives, and I've started doing guitar covers on the channel. So all of that is available. We'd love to have your subscription. But until we see you again, and we do hope to see you again, I hope you take care of yourselves.